Something I talk a lot about, and to be fair, the Department of Player Safety talks a lot about it too, is angle of approach in checking. And I'm going to use some clips from the Devils Rangers game to show you what I mean and how it makes for good hard checking hockey. And keep in mind, the clips I'm going to show you are actually all around and during this shift where we have McDermott trying to challenge Rempe to fight. And all the focus is on all this chaos and taking runs at him and stuff. All of these clean angling checks that I'm about to show you happen in the chaos of that, when everyone's paying attention to whether there'll be a fight or not. And we'll start with this classic case of a defender going back to the corner and a forechecker chasing him. And usually this ends with a violent check from behind into the boards. And it's set up that way right now. You can see the Rangers player has the back facing him. The Devils player has stopped up and slowed up, trying to make a play on the puck. And typically this player would drive right through his back, send him into the boards, and everybody would say the puck carrier has to protect himself. But watch what this Ranger player does. He follows the curvature of the boards, takes an angle at contact so that the violence of impact is actually going on an angle not directed directly into the boards. He does go into the boards, but not violently and not directly. Let's back it up again and look at the angle he takes. This player's going straight in. He could drive through the numbers right now, and apparently no one would fault him for that. But watch how he turns to the right and goes around the corner with that Devils player, and it softens the blow and cuts him off, takes away his space, and it softens the blow enough that they all walk away. Now the puck goes behind the net, and we have the exact same situation being set up on the far corner, one after the other. And this Rangers player is coming in on a straight line angle of approach, and he could, as we've seen just recently, Ryan Lomberg or Kotkaniemi, they came in here, they realized they were too far ahead, they stopped up, rotated, and swung their right elbow backwards towards the head. Not this player. He simply takes a stride ahead of the Devils player, cuts off the space in front of him, and takes him out. It's not hard to do. You don't have to launch because you're going to miss or stick your leg out or stick an elbow out. You're just taking away his space, cut him off. You've done your job. You've made him give up the puck. He can't skate away. Now, again, one after the other, boom, boom, boom. Now here's the third one. Panarin's coming in at the wall. He's going to get beat to the outside because he doesn't have a great angle. So he could stick his leg out like some people have done recently, or again, turned around and stuck his arm out to try and stop that, but he realizes, okay, I'm cutting off the outside lane, but he's got the inside and I have to let him go. Can't take that chance. Puck goes to the far end, comes behind the net. We have a Devils player coming in. He's got a straight line angle, could make a beeline like Pospisil did and drive him, and if that Rangers player turns his back, we'd be saying that's on him. But the Devils player takes an angle, follows the curve of the rink, and again, hits on an angle, shoulder to shoulder, with that impact going 45 degrees into the boards. No danger there. Now watch this next Devils player, again, right after the other. He takes an angular approach. He makes an arc, a curve. He doesn't go straight at that Ranger player and takes the space away up the wall. Now, there ended up being no contact at all, but he made that Ranger player turn back. The job is done. Let's look how that plays out in fast motion. Boom, good hit there. And then potential for a good hit there. But they back away. Here's another one. Puck's in the corner. Devils player. Straight line angle of approach, but he softens it at the last second. Rotates his hips. Goes hip through hip. There's no danger there. Now we have another situation here where a Devils player is right-handed shot, gonna turn up the boards. This Ranger player approaching from the back. He could go right through the numbers there. He could try and hit the back of that Rangers player's shoulder and drive him into the boards. But he doesn't. He takes the angle that cuts off the lane in the front. There ends up not being any contact, but you know what? There was no good contact there to be had. So he had to be real careful. He decides it's not worth it. That's the choice they need to make. Now here we go again. A Devils player making a curve, not going straight line to the puck. That's smart, but he will kind of slow up. That Rangers player, again, follows the curve of the rink and then boxes him out. He doesn't drive him violently into the boards, but he still does his job. Angles him away, forces him to turn back. Now another Ranger player comes in to help out, and again, that's an angled contact. This is to the numbers, right? But it's not dangerous to the numbers because he's coming at an angle of approach that's not straight on, and the violence of the impact is going sideways into the boards, not directly into the boards. Now, this one might be my favorite of all. That's Rempe behind the net in the Rangers uniform, directly behind the net, chasing the Devils player with the puck to the corner. And we saw that hit on Lyubushkin, how violent it was. Watch what he does here. He follows the curve of the rink. They're both going up the ice, and then Rempe cuts the space off in front of him. But again, all the violence and energy of that hit isn't going straight into the boards. They meet on an angle so that that player goes diagonally into the boards, not straight in, and there's no problem at all. Time and time again, we see players run straight through a back when they don't have to. There's a hit there. There's another hit. Here comes another hit. There's lots of contact to be had. These are all within 2 minutes of each other, right? This is the same 2-minute stretch of a game. There's another one, and I know what you're going to say. These aren't really hits, Josh. Those are nothing. Those are just rubouts. But this is what body checking is. This is the fun of the game. What creates the violence of these hits is as the players go faster and faster, the velocity of these hits becomes greater and the contact becomes heavier because of the speed. But you can't organically create violence when there's none to be had. That's the danger. People talk about this being a no-hit league, but that's because you're not looking for them. You're missing all the fun contact. This is a good battle here. And then another bump there. That's a good battle. This is the physicality we need, and it will lead to those heavy impacts, because when a player's going faster, as long as they have this same thought process, it won't matter. You're not going to force hits that aren't there. You're just going to do this, and it will become louder and harder because of the speed. But for anyone who ever says to me again, what do you expect them to do? Just let them go with the puck? No, I expect them to do this. No danger, just great physical hockey.